I think we all sort of root for the underdog at a certain point. We all want that person to win. I heard a long time ago, but everybody deep down just wants the underdog to win. Nobody's super keen on the man who has been winning, always winning, continuing to win. And I sort of think of the likes of Rocky, for example. Rocky Balboa, down on his luck, gets an opportunity to fight. And I don't remember the contrary's name, but he was at the top. He'd been at the top. He wanted to shake things up, and he wasn't expecting somebody to come out swinging necessarily. Said underdog, being Rocky, he eventually did. And he proceeded to in 2, 3, and 4. I didn't like 5 much. I don't remember much about it, but kind of got me thinking when looking at PVZ2. I went and purchased the game. I saw it was at $2 in December, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I think a lot of it was helped by the fact that everybody was sort of hyping up its return, saying that it would be revived because of Jinxie. For clarification, I bought or I had Garden Warfare 2 years ago. Like, this was back when I first got my Xbox, bought it myself. Soon after my dad broke it, got another one, and I remember playing the game and I liked it. I was kind of bored of it. I was seeing things like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare was out, and you had Halo that I was also dying to play. And I was a Nintendo kid before. But playing the game, I just didn't find it too interesting. And recently, I started playing it a few more times. And I found it to be a lot of fun. I found it to be interesting. I feel like the style that it has is unique. And I saw online there are communities on communities for it. There's creators that still do Let's Plays of Garden Warfare, and I guess it's something that people really do feel passionately about. They see it as a good game, a game worth I don't know about worth investing time into, but if you look at the modern state of Garden Warfare 2, it is very bad. It's hard to look at. There's a lot of hackers, there's a lot of cheaters, and specifically these hackers, they can just screw your game over. Progress gone, and there's not a ton of service to get it back. And that sucks. I remember playing the game, and there was a few times where something would just kind of happen, a little sketchy, a little bizarre, and all of a sudden my game is just gone. Like, I'm kicked from it. I never got the terrible occurrence of just losing everything. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably quit at that point, as it is a very progress oriented game, and just losing everything. I mean, it takes hours to level somebody up to, I think it's 4850, and that could be devastating for people who are creators too, that go and just do Let's Plays of Garden Warfare 2. And I was sort of thinking about with this revival thing, I didn't really feel like it was really going to work. It's something that has all of the odds stacked against it, and that does help that whole fantasy of the underdog. You have the fact that the servers can't let enough people in. You have the fact that there's no maintenance on the game. Devs are in no way looking at it. They don't need to. They haven't needed to for a long time. They already dropped another, you know, it's a look-alike at the end of the day, but of a Garden Warfare game, and people didn't like it. It wasn't good, and I mean, some people just felt like it just lost taste. It wasn't what PvZ was, Plants vs Zombies. And I mean, in recent days, they just really did Replanted. Also, was kind of a shit show. People were not impressed with it. But with Garden Warfare 2 having everything stacked against it, and Jinxie attempting to revive it, which, in my opinion, was lackluster. He did not care about the game. He comes in and he's like, the corn guy. I heard him say the corn guy like 4 times, and he loves the corn guy. And I'm sorry, but I think Jinxie is entertaining. I do find him to be funny. But, I mean, that was just effort gone. None there. As he's, claiming he's going to revive the game. And 100% it helps him. He gets the fact that all these PvZ diehards are wanting him to revive the game, so they'll support him to get them there. and I mean a lack of effort. It doesn't feel good to watch, and I'm not one of those that is just invested deeply inside of the community. I'm I'm just somebody who came in late and gets to check it out. But it was interesting. I think he was offered to play with Zach Scott Games, somebody who I've been hearing about more and more as I've been watching YouTube lately, recently. And this is, I don't even know if he ended up playing with him, but I mean, effort wasn't there, so that didn't help. This underdog situation, I didn't think was going to go over well, and I've seen it die down pretty quickly, and it's a little bit sad because even now I'm gonna have to play a little bit of Plants vs Zombies, Garden Warfare 2 for gameplay for this game, and I enjoy it. I don't dislike it when I play the game. It's a it's unique, it's fun. I play as typically it's just a military zombie. He's really good, and his kit is interesting enough. Tried the Chomper. Everybody's been comparing him to Epstein. Haven't really understood the joke. Not that into the community, but I really enjoyed like certain parts of the game, and it's a very ground level game. It's a game though that I think comes from a different era of video games where you kind of, I guess, at a certain point you were able to expect a single player experience, a multiplayer experience, and then just as a little cherry on top, this is where we had zombies and I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's just where you have those strike teams and there's waves. It's sort of like zombies. But you typically have, three big segments or big different things to do in a game. And it kind of made it for an overall experience, a good one. And I think it's interesting now. It feels like it's more the multiplayers to focus. Then you'll have kind of like the overall experience is no longer a priority. You focus so much on the little things. Um, for everything. At that point, you have too much multiplayer, you have too much single player, you have too much round based because they kind of throw all their eggs in that basket for that game and they don't trust that it'll be successful by itself. And that kind of sucks. I think it's fun to have a game that does everything. Now, there's that whole master of all trades, ace of I don't fucking remember. Master of all trades, you're not the master of one. Jack of all trades, master of none. And I think that's interesting. Because I think it's a little bit true. Like Destiny, for example. I used to spend hours on that game. Weekends just grinding and hoping that I get, something new. And the game was just a fucking wasted time at a certain point. I don't look back at it and go, man, I do love the fact that I lived inside of Destiny, that I had the ability to go to Crucible and to Strikes, and then to a single player campaign when it released, or, you know, raids. I love raids. I think their raids are awesome, and I like the whole practice of going and doing a raid, and doing it multiple times a month, and having sort of like those things that happen on certain dates. I think that's cool in Destiny. Still one of the most important moments to me where Destiny was under the belly of the Deep Stone Crypt, just floating across it. And I'm saying that because I don't think that these games can, um, need to necessarily be removed. I think they're great, but it seems like we've moved away from mastering everything and then putting it all in one thing. And something like PvZ 2 is no longer, I guess it's a dated gaming system that people don't necessarily, I don't know, I think people do crave it and want it, and that's like why people will have that game that they play. And now it's more like, for example, Arc Raiders. I played it for a bit. It's one thing though. It's one game mode, and it's gonna be seasonal, and it's gonna be a live service and everything. And I think live service kind of ushered in this as well, just taking away the single player factors as much. I mean, Fortnite's a perfect testament. They had Save the World. And I remember when I started playing Fortnite, I was like, oh, Save the World? You pay for Save the World? Maybe I'll pay for it. I had a friend who said he liked it. Dude, I don't think I'd ever seen more than 2 videos of Save the World gameplay. Like, Fortnite was just so big. The multiplayer was just too big for Save the World, and it was meant to be promo, my understanding. And I just kind of find it interesting that revival for PvZ 2 was never going to happen. People hoped, people wanted it to win, people wanted it to kind of become something that we can look at and look forward to playing, and hopefully everybody likes to fantasize, but have another game, PvZ 3. And it's kind of like Titanfall 3, something that people have continued to hope for and thirst after. And is it going to happen? I doubt it. It's an old game design that people, or especially not developers, but companies look at as dated and no longer viable. Shouldn't be prioritized anymore. I just think it's kind of sad. A small part of me, yes, did want to see PvZ2 events there or win, and it did not come to fruition. So, yeah, but let me know, for those who do see this, if I guess you guys really did think it would happen or not. That Jinxie was a false savior through all of it. He didn't put in a lot of effort. He was trying to grow hype because he's the guy who revived Rainbow and Clash Royale, and it's a great thing to be proclaimed as. But I don't know. It was just never. I don't believe it was ever going to work out. I won't stop playing the game. I hope it continues to straggle on, but I don't know. Just kind of unfortunate. But it never was going to win.